All right, here we go. So this is our first podcast. Honestly, we're really new to this, but we're gonna give it our try. I'm Alex from Nueva Leyenda, Primera Voz y Requinto.
I'm Andy. I am the bass player and I am the segunda voz.
We'd like to introduce ourselves. Good way to start. I'm 21 years old. We live in Porterville, California. Been playing Requinto for over 4 years. I've been in Nueva Leyenda over, how long has it been already?
2.5 years.
It's been around 2.5 years, but we'll explain a little more. He's been in it longer because he was the one who started it, which we're going to explain a little bit down in the podcast.
That's one of the questions.
That is one of the questions as well. But we're going to go ahead and begin. Andy, if you want to give a little introduction on yourself, anything you want to let them know, go ahead.
I'm 19. I have a truck. I go to college, and that's it. So,
it works.
yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with the first question. How did we start playing and where did we start? So if you want to go ahead and just knock it off, you go for it.
For me, I started playing here at my house, but I think they mean like with which group. And there was this guy at the time. His name was Brian Cisneros. I started with him. He gave me the chance when I was ass at bass. I'd only been playing for like 6 months. I didn't even know what tonos were, and he helped me grow as a bass player. And then we had our first gig about a couple weeks after practice, and for me, that's how I started.
Not bad. On my end, I think I started in an official grupo around my freshman year when I got my first guitar. Well, I've had a guitar since like 8th grade, but I didn't officially start playing requinto and everything until I think my freshman year. Sophomore. I don't want to confuse it. My sophomore year is when I started, all because of my boy Chucho. Shout out my boy. Make sure you go get your cuts with my boy Chucho in Porterville. Shout out to my boy Chucho. He pushed me a lot in guitar, and I think that's where I started my first group alongside with Luis Arroyo también. Saludos al viejón. Arriba lo nuevo lo bajío. Go check them out. Good friends of ours. I started there, and those were my beginnings, and then from there it just expanded itself over time, and I didn't see myself honestly in music like that. I didn't see myself doing music professionally or doing it at all. I saw it as a hobby to start off, honestly. I didn't really think of it as anything serious until, money started to come in. I was like, oh shit, it's surprisingly you make good money, and I was like, fuck it, dude, let's keep it going.
For me, it was like my dad always had instruments in the garage, and we would touch them like every once in a while, but we never played them because we didn't know how. And then one day he like tried to teach me when I was like fucking 10 or 12, and he just starts yelling at me. He's an old Mexican Jalisciense kind of dad, so he's like strict. I wouldn't say strict, but he pretty much was pissed because I didn't know tonos, but I didn't know how to play bass, so he's
disciplinary with love.
He was like, "Está en sol," and I was like, "Well, what the fuck is that, dude? I don't understand this shit."
Just crying,
and
just wondering where.
Eventually, like, I don't know, I just saw Chano pick it up, and then after a while, I saw him get into a group, and he was the one who actually like kind of pushed me to actually start practicing and getting better because he started making money, and I was like, "Oh, money."
We'll invite Chano to one of the podcasts. He'll be up in an upcoming episode. We'll have Chano. We'll have a lot of other people.
Bashlosh.
If you guys don't know, that's his brother, Feliciano Chano. But I mean, everybody knows him as Chano Bajoloche. You might have known him from there. Okay, let's go ahead on to the second question. When was the legend started and with who? I'll let my boy take over this topic right here because this was all him. I joined Nueva Leyenda when it was him and other people, but I'll let you go ahead and then I'll integrate my story upon it.
So at the time, I stopped playing with Brian because we disagreed on a few things, typical group shit, money, system, whatever. I found that I posted it on my Snapchat story one time. I was like, "Is anybody down to make a group?" And this guy, his name was David, he hit me up and he's like, "Hey, I got this guy who's a requintista, and it's just me and him right now. We really need a bass player." So I was like, "All right, I'm down." I joined. And we didn't have anybody singing. There was supposed to be someone singing, but that guy like showed up one practice, and then like we all decided, you know what, he's not good for the group, so we decided to kick him out because the requintero Jesus, he's the requintista for Jose Mejia.
Shout out to the boy también.
He sang, and we were like, God damn, he has like Querencia de Patrones vibe.
He had the same kind of like just like he had
voice.
that same vocal range and everything, just like
he sounded
just
like him, like another Tony Loya, but
literally.
yeah. So it was us three for a while, and then I was like, well, it'd be better if he just focused on singing instead of requinteando and then just, you know,
And then
just
that's
us three. So that's when I saw Alex, and he was playing with, I think,
around that time I think it was with Luis. It was just me and Luis just as a duet. No, lies. It was Los del Imperio. If you guys know, you know Los del Imperio. That was a while back too. I was right there. Well, I mean, de acaso when I was with Luis, he was in my first group. Andy was in my first group, but
son of a bitch, he kicked me out.
I kicked him out because he wasn't that good. I was just like, you know what, dude? I was like, take your time, like practice all you need to. And
He pretty much said, he's like, you're not good enough right now. Come back later. And I did. I put him back in my group, and then he shut the fuck up, and now we're
that's
here.
where I gained a mutual respect with him, because he kind of just shut me up. You know, he told me, he's like, you know, oh, okay, you know, it's cool. He didn't take it to heart or anything. He just took it as like kind of like a, oh, you know, I just need to practice, and he did it. And
it's because the way he said it.
I didn't
sugarcoated it.
Yeah,
he didn't tell me. He's like, you're out. No, he was just like, focus on yourself. Like, he made it sound like,
sounded like a relationship. We're about to take a break
no
and catch
mames.
up again. That shit was terrible. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
that's when I integrated, because he had hit me up because I didn't have a group, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and see like what groups around the valley are open to
Mhm.
any requintistas, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. And I hit him up, and then that's when I joined. That was around 2000, like
2020.
around 20,
20,
around 20 towards
yeah.
the ends of 19 to 20, because that's when we played at Fresno State. which
Fresno
was
State, yeah.
super sick, super fucking sick. I still didn't know them at that time. I still didn't know them. They were with other people. I was with Clavecero at that time with my boy Chano, and that's when I had met them after that. That's literally all when it happened. I had met them after that whole situation with Fresno State, which is a way different topic, which we'll talk about later on in a different podcast.
I'll speak about like 30 seconds about it. So I was sleeping on the floor of this guy's house. His name was Grande. He was a manager of Clavecero at the time. This motherfucker was playing guitar in the living room, and he had his G series, and he was sitting next to me, and I was like trying to sleep, and all of a sudden he leans in with the fucking guitar and just starts requinteando hella vicious and hard as fuck.
I
And
felt
then-
so bad because I wasn't close to you at that time, dude.
No,
I
I
was
was
a dick
trying to
about it.
sleep, and I was like, you son of a bitch. But I didn't say anything because I was like, I'm going to go to sleep anyway.
It was like 7 a.m. He brought
I
like
was
12
pissed.
McChickens. He's like, I brought you guys food.
He's like, I went to McDonald's. And I was like, arre, and I slammed like
Hella cold, bro.
4 sausage McMuffins. It was good.
That shit was horrible. But that's when I had met him. That's when I had joined Nueva Leyenda around that time. The group was sick. The group was super dope. The dynamic was sick. My boy Jesus, like we said again, Requintista de Jose Mejia. Shout out to them. David también.
Yeah, long story short, what happened is everybody has creative differences. We switched
We
integrantes.
switched a lot, man.
A lot, man.
We
Like,
switched a lot to get to where we're at right now. I think we've switched over like
8 or 9 people.
yeah, we've been up and down a lot. This group has been batallándole. That's the only reason I've really kept Andy as a musician really close to me, because this man has been batallando up and down with me. Like we've been through
Yes.
a lot of shit fucking together as musicians, you know, really good times and really bad times as well. And honestly, that's a really big recommendation. If you have certain músicos that are like your friends that you know stick with you through thick and thin, keep those people close as fuck, dude, because those are the only people you could really trust. Because
Yes.
as much as we like to sugarcoat it as musicians, this music game is very crooked as fuck. It's very fucked up. Like, industry-wise, people-wise, like, the way people treat you and talk to you, you know, pues como dicen de doble cara, you know? Aquí enfrente me saludan, pero atrás me están hablando. You know, it fucking sucks. But, I mean, it's reality. We can't even bother with it. That's
Mhm.
reality. Literally, everybody's like that.
Anyway, we won't dwell on this question a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll go to number 3.
This was a random one. I forgot who had sent me this on Instagram. They said favorite pickup line. I don't know, dude. I don't use
Yeah,
pickup
I
lines,
don't
man.
use pickup lines either, because I feel like if you use a pickup line anywhere, you can be like, oh, this was corny.
Bro, I think that's I
This-
think for a
thi-
girl that's
like-
just like an automatic like fuck.
They're gonna
this
be like,
fool.
oh my god, not another
Weird
motherfucker
ass
like
way.
this. So I just keep with the simple, you know, hey, what's up, kind of thing. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be
If you were a booger, I'd pick you first type shit.
stupid as
Something like that. Or
I don't know, probably the one that goes like, oh, are you a painting? 'Cause you're a fucking work of art or something.
Okay.
You know, I
You're
think that one's kind
you're the
of.
sweeter type. Okay.
I think it's kind of in the middle.
it's not bad.
It's not corny, but it's not like something you should start out with.
Oh hell no, bro! If you're starting a conversation with a pickup line, bro, you better end it right there. Then
Hey,
and there,
it better be a good one that's gonna guarantee you a spot.
it better
'Cause
be fucking fire. That girl better be drunk, way, cause that ain't gonna work.
It'll
That's
never work in person. I've never tried it, and I don't want to because I know it's
yeah,
not gonna work.
I will never try that.
All
Fuck
right,
that.
number 4
Ooh.
says
I don't. This is kind of. I don't know if this is very. I don't know if we should. This is. This
they
is
want to see who we are.
Well,
and
this is how we
it's
are.
gonna
We have a
gauge.
really
So
fucked up sense of humor. So please prepare for the episodes coming up. Our sense of humor is really fucked up.
if we get canceled one
David, this is on you, bro. This is on you. Shout out to my boy David. Él es el compa Isaac Torres. Todo es allá afuera de Fresno. Ahí estamos a la orden.
day, compita Danny Jr. pretty
yeah,
much.
Yeah, Danny Felix Jr. Shout out
This
to my
God
boy.
musician right there.
Check him out, man.
He said, "Would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter?" And I'm gonna start it, and I'm gonna say it like this. You know, thought daughter. Because, I mean, it's not that I don't like gay people. I love gay people. There's cool-ass people like that. But, you know, thought daughter is more of a practical thing. Because, you know, a lot of women are like that. And it's not expected, but there's some, you know, they're you can tell. So I would rather have a thought daughter. And I talk to her, I'd be like, look, just protect yourself.
I don't know, bro.
And as long as you're happy, as long as you're doing what you like, that's it. I can't stop you.
That's
But that's only if she's
scary,
18.
though,
If she's
bro.
like
si
16,
se está correteando and se está pasando, fuck no, dude. Because then
well, let 'em
I don't
fuck
want
up their
other
own
I don't
life.
want other dads to be coming up to me. Yo, bro, is this your daughter? Yeah, she was with my kid last night, and I'm like, fuck, bro. Like now
I'll
I
tell
got a
him,
bad rep because of you.
No, because I think of it like this: if they're gonna fuck up their life, they're gonna do it with or without your approval. So I figure, you know what? I might as well just make peace with it as it comes.
Strict parents create sneaky kids, and I fucking
Yep.
believe that strongly, dude.
And you want to know how I know? Because his parents are strict as hell.
I have very strict parents, but I'm very grateful at the end of the day for my parents because they do. Soy bien batalloso, I'll give you that. Soy
When
bien
I-
batalloso.
when
but-
I told him how my parents were, he shit his pants. He was like, "Oh my god, really? They let you do all that?"
yeah, I
Because
mean,
my parents care, but my dad was a musician for 20 years, so he understands the game. So he's like, "Oh, okay. Sometimes you come home at like 4 or 5, shit happens."
yeah, over here it's a whole nother dilemma. If you have strict parents and they're very religious, bro,
Yep.
they'll hit you with the Holy Christ, and that shit's it ain't good.
All right.
Question 5: would you ever be friends with benefits? I don't know who sent me that question. That was an anonymous question they had sent me. No, fuck no. I don't understand that shit.
No, because I've seen it happen, and it's like one always catches feelings, and you're never gonna. That's inevitable. One of you will.
I'm a very strong
It's-
lover.
it's
so
not-
I can never.
If we can't be something in public, then we don't need to keep it private. I don't like that shit. I would never be a friends with benefits. I'd be like, look, either you want me or you don't. You
And-
can't have it both ways.
And deletion 1651.
Indeed.
That was my opinion.
Indeed.
Number 6: biggest accomplishment in music so far.
So far, probably
That's hard.
honestly
dude.
buying my dream fucking bass, the one that I currently have, the headless one, because when they were released, I had an ESP LTD, not a bad bass by the way, great for starters. I had that one, and I saw this one come out, and I was like, oh my god, I would fucking love to have that one.
And you had taken a picture on your Instagram too. Whenever you barely had started, you took a picture with that. You're like, this bass is
I
fucking
took,
sick.
dude, I
That's
took a
crazy.
picture of that bass,
That's a
and
manifestation.
2-3 years later, I ended up buying it out of my own pocket, and I was like, fuck, I guess that's.
That's manifestation at its finest,
Yeah.
dude. Literally, that's
Because
that's
I never thought I would
seriously
buy.
is.
I thought I would buy the one Cram Bass has, that smooth one, but that one's $3,000.
Because you had sent me it too. It's in our chat. It's in our chat, way at the bottom. The picture of it. I don't know what the conversation was, but I don't know if it's. You're like, oh, this bass is sick, you know.
I was like, I want to buy this thing.
But
and
it's a
at
little.
the time, I didn't have the money, but we were going good with the group, and a lot of things were coming through. So I decided, you know what, splurge, and I bought it.
It's a literal manifestation. That shit's crazy how that works, dude. That's a really good accomplishment. Biggest accomplishment in music. That's really difficult. Damn, I should have prepared. Honestly, dude, I don't know. I mean, I've had a lot of accomplishments, but I wouldn't say like super big. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I've done in music that I'm really proud of, that I've really worked on. I think right now my biggest accomplishments is just being able to write and like have content ready, you know. I think one of my biggest accomplishments is learning how to record in studio, mix and master and all that, 'cause that shit's crucial.
Dude, I go to the
man.
studio like every other day, and he just sits there for like 4 or 5 hours, just breaking his head on fucking small little things that I don't even know and I don't understand, and he'll be like, no, this frequency has to be this high, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm very picky.
You just plug in and record, and there you go. Sale mierda. But
I'm not the best at it, but I mean, I'm learning and it's getting the job done right now, and it's helping us release content.
indeed, you can always learn
Exactly.
because there's only one way to go from the bottom, and that's up.
I think that's honestly my biggest accomplishment, having my studio and building it up. Because you remember whenever I had the little studio, it was just a fucking table,
Just a
and
table,
a table, two speakers, and
the
my
Scarlett
old
interface.
my Macintosh, my box ass Macintosh that I smashed with my hand because I got pissed one day. That shit was just. It was
I
fucking
remember when you told me about that. You're
horrible,
like,
man.
it fucking deleted my recordings. Fuck,
Bro, I was on the verge of crying. I
Oh
called
my
this man
God.
almost crying because I was so pissed. I was like, "Fuck, bro!" Like I worked hella hard. I remember, dude. I studio had me crying, bro. It's like when you're doing an essay and it deletes, bro. Like it's one of those pains. It's just hurtful to the heart.
At that
it-
point, I would have just said fuck it, gave up, and went to sleep.
No,
but anyway,
because you saw that day, I smashed my computer with my hand, and I called you. I was like, "Bro, I broke my computer." I was like, "I'm going to go buy a MacBook," and he's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, I have the money." He's like, "Honestly, do it, invest."
that shit was that
And-
that was shit was something.
Now that shit's hauling ass, and thank God. But yeah, that's one of my biggest accomplishments.
Mhm. Hold on. PSA, if you guys hear noises in the back, like something grinding or something clicking, I have a hamster, and his
yeah.
name is Mojino, and he likes to just be a little shit, especially around this time.
He's very
So-
active right now. That's the only
Yeah,
reason you'll hear it.
I love the little bastard.
It'll
Anyway.
it'll come out sometimes. You'll hear it very faintly in the back, but that's him
Yeah.
in the back just causing this madre.
So number 7 says, what's a dueto we like and a dream dueto? So I'm going to answer this one straight out. A dueto, I don't know if they mean by like us as a group or just us individual, and I'll answer both of them.
Answer it as both. Answer it as an
So-
individual and answer it as a group dueto.
For mine, I would love to be featured with either one of three. So it would be Junior H, Nata, or Legado Siete. Those would be my dream fucking duetos right there.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him on that one. I think my tops would be not that without a doubt, just because of his newer stuff, but more towards the Tumbado era. That's where
Yes.
I fucking fell in love with music, man. When Danny really fucking
Danny was
transformed the
God
whole
right
region,
there.
man. He really moved the regional mexicano into a way different wave, and that's where my favorite fucking part was. I think that's where I really grew my style, like my whole style. That's where you grew your stilo too.
If anybody knows, I grew mine because I would listen to the way Danny plays on the way home from college, and in my truck it has the sound system, so I was analyzing right
You
there. I
could
was
hear
like,
everything
yeah,
clear.
oh damn, Danny Felix, is this what it is?
So
Then,
yeah, it was him. It would be Nata, just during that Tumbado era. Not right now. Cool would be cool too. I wouldn't lie. Honestly, a really big dream duetto would be Junior H. That man's music is a fucking vibe, dude. His music is a different thing. Like he has this style that makes you feel music. It's not regular like, oh, yeah, okay, I could sing the lyrics. You actually feel his fucking music, and that's
You feel
super
sad.
sick.
He
He'll
makes
make
you feel sad.
He'll make you feel sad, happy, pistear de todo. That man's fucking sick. So I think Junior H would be a really big one on my fucking list. If I had the
Yes.
chance, porfa.
Number 8 really isn't a question. It says bring groups from around the area, which
We will.
You know, just leave it in the comments. Just text us. Just be like, we want to see these guys on here, and we'll make it happen.
Without
Hopefully.
a doubt, we'll have a lot of different groups coming out here. If we
Indeed.
could have our boys from Los Chacalosos, without a doubt, we have a dueto coming out with them. Ahí nomás pa' que lo esperen
Yes,
también.
sir.
Los Chacalosos. Who else can we? We'll probably get los nuevos del Bajío si ellos se animan también. Compa Mikey, Compa Noel,
We get
Compa
the
Mando,
Madeñas
Luis.
too.
Mardoñas. Mardoñas, as Andy's dad said.
Hey.
Compa Madueña, ahí nomás, saludar a esos viejos. We'll get him out there without a doubt. Who else? There's a lot of groups in the valley. We don't really put ourselves out with groups like that in the valley. We're kind of more reserved, but I mean, we try our best to communicate with other groups, But it's
Yeah, it's just whatever. Like whatever happens, happens. Whatever doesn't happen, happens.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
we'll see in the future. But those are just some people without a doubt that we're gonna try to invite.
Indeed.
Let's see. What do we got next? We have
Number 9.
What's one of your fears at a tocada?
You can start.
There's
'cause
multiple
I know you have a
things.
fucking list.
Yeah, there's a multiple list, dude. One thing, getting fucking shot. I think, dude.
Oh, that hadn't even occurred to me. I
Yeah,
was thinking
dude.
like small shit.
Nah, dude, I'm thinking big, bro. Because if I'm playing at a tocada donde dices algo que no conviene, and just that's terrible. That one, and Oh no, dude. Honestly, my biggest fear as a musician is traveling, getting in car accidents. I think that's fucking scary, dude.
Mm.
Cause like, dude, if you think about it, we are almost the same as truckers when it comes to traveling. We're going everywhere. Our chances
Yes.
of death are really fucking high. Not even just from like anything in like
Just people. No, we just like.
you could.
God, there's a lot of sketch shit that happens to us.
Yeah.
Like we'll be. Oh my fucking god! Like
we have a lot of
oh.
stories about weird shit that.
I'll just
happens.
tell you a real quick one. So we were playing in fucking Urapan, and we hit Chano.
Urapan is
We were
Bakersfield.
going. Fuck Urapan. No, I'm just kidding. We were going to.
This
we were
man just
coming back
doesn't like playing at that
from the establishment, and there had been like 3-4 cops that had already passed us, but they were turning on their lights, and I was like, "Oh, fuck,
It was
we're getting
no,
pulled
because it was
over."
weird because we heard it from a distance. We just heard wee wee wee, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! There's hella cops out tonight. It's hot." And we
Yeah,
thought
and
it was
then,
just
like-
regular because it's Bakersfield. No offense to Bakersfield, but it's
It's,
Bakersfield.
it's bigger than Porterville. We're not used to hearing a bunch of fucking cops. We see one cop, we're like, what the fuck is that?
literally getting right
So,
off of the freeway, just cop.
Basically, someone had the idea. They were like, "Oh, get a scanner." We listened to the scanner, and they were like, "We got 4 suspects in a gray Ford F-150 going down. Which highway was
I
it?"
think I forgot what highway it was, but they literally said the highway, and I turned to Andy and I told him, I was like, "Dude, isn't this the highway that we're fucking on?"
And I was driving,
Bro.
and I was like, about 15 seconds after he said that, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Because I look
Looks
in the
rear
rearview
view.
mirror, and all of a sudden, in the farthest left lane, we're about in the middle. We just see this fucking Ford F-150 haul ass, dude, like 150
Holy
miles per hour.
shit.
8 or 9 cops and a whole fucking helicopter. And we were just like, huh?
My boy had 5 stars, bro. That man
That
was
fool
on a
was playing.
mission.
Oh my
We
god.
literally followed that whole fucking chase on our phone, dude. That man ended up going to another
Dude,
town.
They ended up like leaving the vehicle,
He
jumping
jumped
in
out of a
fucking
vehicle, jumped in,
restaurant.
yeah, and just ran through. It
Just
was like
ran.
3 different people, but dude, fuck. That's one of the crazy things. It's just we have this
Mhm.
random luck of occurrence that
Cops.
with cops. Cops is
Oh
a
my god.
big thing for us.
Well, we'll leave the rest of that for some more podcasts because we don't want to burn your guys' time.
One more thing, also, I fucking got the cops called at his house, which will be
Oh my
another story
fucking
down the
god.
road.
We'll
Or
tell
probably I'll say it
that
towards the end.
later.
I'll
Towards
tell
the
you
end.
guys
Towards the
later.
end, yeah.
It's
Okay,
funny as fuck.
so
bro.
I didn't even get to put my input. Okay, I'm gonna keep it short. One of my worst fears is fucking kids knocking over shit, especially at gigs,
Mm.
knocking over the tower, the mixer, instruments, getting shot, and getting in a car accident. So I have a lot of the same things, but
Parents, please take care of your kids at tocadas, man.
oh my
don't
fucking
let your
God, don't let
kids-
those little assholes start touching our shit because we pay for it, and then all of a sudden, for a little kid just to come, sometimes it's not their fault. They're curious, but at the same time, parents just pay a fucking attention.
I
it's not that
understand
hard.
they're kids, man, but dude,
Sparkling water.
Just just control your kids, please. Number 10. Who's our biggest idol? I'll let you start that one because you started at a different time than I did.
My biggest idol, it always changes, but like the one that inspired me the most, I can't pick just one, so I'm gonna pick 2. It's Danny Felix's bass player, Fredo bass, and then Mark bass. Cram, the guy who plays with Nathaniel Cano now. I seen his page when I was like fresh out, and not fresh out of jail, like freshly starting.
That sounded
and
horrible.
Chano, like my brother just sent it to me, and I was like, holy fuck, this guy plays so like if
He's
you
very
saw the way he plays,
flowy.
he's fluid. It's like
he's
not like
smooth.
I am. I play like a vasca de mierda. He plays like a jazz god, dude. It's like so amazing. I've seen his covers and I've seen his work. He's the guy you hear in all of Nata's songs. There's a bunch of other ones where you can just hear somebody on the bass just woo. That's
You can
him.
hear that man going ham.
So yeah,
that that guy's fucking sick.
because if
dude.
he can get there, I can get there, and that's what I think.
Exactly.
takes
My
time.
biggest idol. I don't want to be the basic one and say Ariel Camacho. He was an inspiration, not gonna lie. But
he was revolutionary, but at
Yeah.
the same time, he attributed changes, but revolutionary.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
He had his touches.
there's people who revolutionize what he did, so it's like
It's kind of mid, but
difficult.
I think at this moment right now, my biggest idol, Danny Felix, bro. Danny Felix is a fucking that man has really fucking. He revolutionized how I saw music, how to study music. If I had to say like a top 3 or a top 4, it would be Jonathan Ibarra, if you know, you know. Gil Noé Valle, también. Danny Felix, Carlos Ulises. Put those 4 motherfuckers in a room, dude. They will make the craziest shit you'll ever hear, dude. Those guys are just.
That's ear sex right there.
That's
ear sex. And I'm a bass player. I don't understand the values of requinto, but I've heard them and holy fuck.
That's an eargasm to a musician, literally. Those 4 guys are my top fucking special spot in my heart, man. Those fucks are fucking amazing.
All right.
Number 11.
Number 12. Cock.
What and who made you start? We're very big on memes, by the way. We're very stupid when it comes to
Just
stuff like that.
Sped shit a lot of the time.
It's terrible. What and who made you start?
I'll keep mine short and simple because we're
Mhm.
running out of time. What made me start was my dad because he would always push me to be a musician, and I was like, man, I don't want to be a fucking musician. Then I saw kids at school doing it, and I thought I was like, oh, musicians get bitches. Because I didn't have no bitches at the time. I still ain't got no bitches sometimes. So I just saw them and I was like, maybe I should play. And I saw that they all had a guitar and I wanted to be different. So I was like, bass. And then what actually made me start, what kept me motivated was Chano, my brother, because he would play fingerstyle bass and Bajoloche wasn't a thing at the time. Or it was, and he just started and I was like, I want to be better than him. And after a while, you know, different things started to motivate me, and that's how I started. It's basically like saw kids at school doing it. I wanted to do it. I did it, and I haven't dropped it.
Not bad. For me, what got me started in music? I think
ASMR.
I think what got me started in music was, well, I mean, I've revolved myself around music since I was a kid. I did orchestra a lot of my
Orchestra.
Yeah, I did orchestra a lot of my life. I did viola, violin, cello. I did all that stuff and since I think second grade. Second grade is when I picked up my first instrument.
Oh shit, I remember. I've been in band since 4th grade, and junior year I decided to drop it. I took a gap year, and then Mr. Armande pulled me back in. But it was COVID, so it was Zoom. So what I would do is just like do all the lessons in one day, and then just sleep the rest of the 3 weeks.
As you should. Yeah, it's just in second grade, and then I got my first guitar Christmas night, 7th grade, if I'm right. It's Christmas night, 7th grade. I got a first act from fucking Target. I mean, honestly, dude, it's a toy guitar, bro.
Hey, I mean, if it worked, it
but
worked.
look
Look
where
at where
it
you
brought
at
me.
now.
Exactly.
So-
I'm thankful for that shit. I can't cap on them because at the end of
Yeah.
the day, it gave me something to learn on. I learned on that, and then my first guitar was, it wasn't an Ibanez, no. Nah, yeah, it was. It was actually.
Wasn't it the Fever?
The Fever was the first 12 string that I bought. That's the one that I bought in LA, bro. Sharp ass frets, fucking
Ooh,
hella
high ass
tall,
action, probably.
high ass action, dry ass blocky sound. But you know what? I'm thankful for that shit.
I mean, that reminds me of what I started with. My dad's fucking $100 Ibanez bass,
The blue one.
the blue one with black strings.
There's still videos on there. You
Oh
just
my
really
God.
have to dig deep to find that shit.
Well, I took them all off my page. I have one.
I
but it's
know.
not
I
with
don't
that
have
bass.
any old videos. Well, I mean, because of my last Instagram page that got taken down. Fuck Instagram for that, man. But it's fucking whatever. But that's
Dumb as
that's
shit.
where I started. I started from there. My dad was the one who really wanted to make me start because he told me, he was like, oh, you know, yo siempre quería aprender cómo tocar guitarra, pero como yo no pude aprender, yo quiero aprender de ti mismo. You know, he wanted to learn through me. He wanted to have that sensation of music, and that's where I started growing at it.
Yeah, my dad was just like, he wanted his kids to play music with him, which we do every now and then, and it's fun and jam outs, but like his music isn't our music, and he knows it.
We still jam out with that
But,
man, though.
Yeah,
We still,
my sister's wedding, we took him and we fucking jammed right there for like an hour straight. Just
me, him, his brother Chano, and his dad on the tecla. Well,
We were
no,
doing
his dad
Tierra
was on the
Caliente.
drums. His dad was on the drums. You were on the bass. I was on the electric guitar, and then Chano was on the tecla.
on piano, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Holding
on
it
tecla.
down.
It was one of the sickest fucking things we've ever done, dude. One of the sickest fucking things. I think honestly, I'd be so down to take out an album like that.
It would be so fun. But
It's weird.
problem
but it's cool.
is nobody listens to that shit no more. If it ain't old and if it ain't anybody they know, they're not gonna give us the chance.
We won't really know unless you're really cultured with music and you really grew up with that.
Indeed. And now number 12.
Number
Cock.
12. What keeps you motivated?
Honestly, at this point, you know, I want to get to the point where like I'm on stage and people are fucking admiring me as a musician and a person. Be like, yeah, that's Andy. He plays bass and he's a fucking cool guy, you know.
That shit's a
And
sick
also,
feeling.
my truck. For those of you who don't know, I own a 4-door Chevy. I'm a cub part-time and a musician full-time. Honestly, I seen sick trucks and I was like, yeah, I want to be like that. So I have to keep chambeando. I have to keep working to keep that shit maintained. So besides being like, oh, I want to be on a big stage, my truck for now.
No works. My motivation. Honestly, I watch a lot of fucking videos.
Porn.
No. I watch a lot of fucking blogs that are like of Chato, that are just big artists like JOP. I watch a lot of that stuff because, you know, it pushes me hella hard cuz like my dream as a musician, honestly, my fucking dream that's solid that I could say this is what I want. The day that I have a concert that I stop singing and the people continue my lyrics is the day my heart will drop because I knew, damn, dude, I fucking did it. Like, I think that's what my number one motivation is, just honestly seeing where my limits are at, because I've always set a limit for myself, but the thing is I've always have a way to overpass it. And that's what keeps me really motivated as a musico and as a person. Just set your goal, pass your standard, and say, okay, where do we go from here? And just keep it going. And honestly, you'll be fucking unstoppable, dude, with what you want to do in life.
So let me tell the story of how these fucks got the police called to my goddamn house.
This is a little bonus story. This involves our friend Diego Saucedo, all the way from Modesto, arriba Carta Nueva, viejo.
So Diego was in town for a few days recording his album with Alex.
Yes,
because he paid him.
Make sure to check that out.
And
really sick album.
And these fools came to my house, and it was like 9, 10 at night, and we were just playing, you know, my Xbox. And then Alex goes, "Oh, I should go get my Nintendo Smash, and we should play it here. We can all play." And I was like, fuck it, I'm down. Well, as soon as I went to go take a shit after they left.
Before anything, please don't do what I did. This was really stupid. Really stupid. I live in
a white suburban neighborhood. And these fucks decided to yell at the top of their goddamn lungs.
Not Diego.
No, just this fucker.
I did.
He was like, "Oh my God, they're shooting!"
I was like,
and from inside,
it sounded real, dude.
From inside, I was taking a shit in the bathroom, so I couldn't really hear like what they were saying. I just knew they were yelling, and I thought they were just yelling at each other or something. And then like about 5-10 minutes later, nobody's home. I hear the door knock. And my mom had gotten home about 3 minutes before, and she's like, all I heard was Porterville PD. We were here on a call about somebody saying they got shot. He has a gun.
Not even fucking.
I wiped my ass and I got up, and as soon as I get to the door, they're like, yeah, we heard reports of people getting shot or something along those lines.
That's where I got the call on my phone from Andy.
And dude, I'm not gonna lie to the cops, especially when it's something so fucking minuscule as that bullshit. And I was like, oh no, my friends are stupid, they're retarded, and they just decided to pull a prank. This motherfucker, he was a beaner cop. He goes, yeah, dispatch is just horseplay, stupid kids. And I was like, all right. So I went back in my room and I called this fool instantly, and I just fucking said, dude, what the fuck did you do? The cops are here.
I started dying so hard with Diego, bro.
Yeah.
We just started fucking laughing. I was like, no way. I was so scared to actually go.
Hold on. All right. Bye, Mom. Parents are going to TJ.
His parents are going to Tijuana. That's why we're just right here. But
yeah,
shout out to my second mother right there.
Indeed.
Yeah, that dude, he just called us pissed. What the fuck did you do, dude? And I was like, what? He's like, dude, the fucking cops are at my house. I was like, oh fuck. And I was like, oh, I'm going back. I got the switch. And we just went back, bro. Dude, that shit was
stupid
horrible.
as shit.
I felt
and
so bad.
You know, my dad would have been super pissed had he had been here, but he wasn't here because he was coming back from work. And I was like, dude, if my fucking dad finds out.
If she gets curious and she hears the podcast and your dad gets a glimpse of this part, I am so sorry, Ventura.
It'll be fine. It happened a long time ago.
Perdóname, Ventura. Te quiero mucho, viejo.
But anyway, we'll just keep everything short, and that's been today's podcast. You know, my name's Andy. This is Alex.
We are the New Legends. We still don't have a name for the podcast, but we will come up with it for the next episode, and we'll have.
Or if you guys can come up with it, it would be great.
Give us suggestions, but we will have this ready. We'll try to release one podcast a week, if not once every 2 weeks. We'll see what comes up.
Realistically, once every 2 weeks. We got shit to do.
Yeah, we're a bit busy right now, gracias a Dios, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Make sure to keep up on all our Instagrams. My Instagram will be down in the bio. You could follow our group. Our group is Nueva Leyenda. You could follow us on Instagram, Spotify, iTunes.
If you
every
follow me,
platform.
you can see my truck.
Yes. You could see this man's truck, and you could see a lot of our new upcoming music that we have coming out soon. Very, very, very soon. Very
Yes.
excited about that. But stay tuned. We will return for episode 2 with Andy and Alex.
We'll
Like
probably
I said, we
have,
don't know the name. We'll have someone on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, either Chagaloso's Chano or somebody else.
We'll see. Most likely, I feel we're gonna have Chano on the podcast,
Indeed.
or also Los Elegantes. Yes, I gotta
my,
get the twins
my
out
favorite
here.
people. We could do the podcast at their
We could do the
house. It'd be
podcast at their
amazing.
house. It'd be really nice.
Anyway, so have a good night. Have a good day whenever you're listening to this.
Stay safe, músicos. Keep it up. Prepárense porque ahí viene la temporada del frío y está cabrón. Está cabrón. But
Don't get sick.
stay safe. Thank you, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful day or night. God bless. Take care.